Hello and welcome to your breathing exercise prenatal yoga class. We are going to use prenatal yoga to practice breathing sequences that we can use for different stages of labor. We will start with our first stage, which is the dilation phase, and that's when we're working with our body to dilate so that baby can get ready to crown. We are going to want to make sure that we do a breath called calming breath. That's going to help provide a continual supply of oxygen to the uterus so that muscle of the uterus can contract properly and the baby can get a continuous supply of oxygen. It'll also help you preserve your energy so you can last the length of labor. Before we begin, make sure you grab your props, which are going to be a couple yoga blocks and a pillow or a bolster if you have it. You can begin by sitting on your pillow or bolster if it helps you feel a little bit more comfortable. And it helps prop your hips up off the ground, which can help them get in line with the spine, which will be a little more comfortable. So if you want to go to a seated position on your pillow or on the ground, feel free to come to whichever one. And then when you're ready, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze by looking down at the floor in front of you. I want you to begin by resting the tongue on the back of your upper teeth, allowing your jaw to hang and release. Go ahead and place your hands on your belly right below your rib cage. And begin to scan your body for any tension. Starting at the very tip of your head, moving down through your face, your jaw, your shoulders, your arms and your fingertips. Noticing any tension in your upper back, middle back, lower back or belly, your hips and pelvis and pelvic floor, entire length of your legs and feet and toes. On our next inhale, we're going to inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue that on your own for a few more breaths. Feeling your lungs expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. Your body expand. Breathe fresh oxygen in as you inhale. And release and let go of tension as you exhale. This is our beginning stages of labor breath, our calming breath. Deep inhale with a long exhale, focusing on releasing. One more time. Allow your breath to return to normal. I want you to think of this mantra or intention for class today. Each wave brings me closer to baby. Each contraction has its purpose. Every pain that you feel has a purpose. And that is bringing you closer to your baby. So each wave, each contraction you experience is one step closer. Allow your palms to fall down into your lap. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, chin to the ceiling, reaching through your bottom jaw. And exhale, chin down to your chest. Inhale, right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, drop your chin back to center. Inhale, left ear to the left shoulder. Exhale to center. Take your time, rocking from one shoulder to the next. Inhaling as you come up, exhale as your chin comes to center. And taking the time to note any noises, any areas of tension or tightness. And if you feel like you need to pause and explore these spaces, take that time to do so. Drop your chin to center. Inhale, head to neutral. We're going to begin with torso rotations. Left shoulder is going to go to the left side. Puff your chest to center. Right shoulder comes over to the right. Exhale, round and tuck your chin. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Really focusing on your breath and your movement. Opposite direction. Come to center. We're going to come to the hands and the knees on the mat. So you'll stack your wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers out wide. Take an inhale, let the belly relax to the mat. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your back. Give baby a hug with the belly. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Keep going, letting your breath guide the pace of your movement. And just noting that your breath does what it needs to do naturally. You don't need to tell yourself to breathe. You don't need to tell yourself to pick up your breath when you're moving quicker. Your breath already knows what to do. Come to neutral. We're going to tuck the toes, send the hips back onto the heels, come all the way up, and then we're going to take the palms, interlace them behind the back, lift the chest, lift the gaze, press those knuckles down, make sure your sit bones are pointing down towards the mat. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the hands down, coming back to tabletop position. From here, we're going to do torso circles on hands and knees. So you're going to place the palms a little further in front of the shoulders. We'll inhale, hips will come down and forward, chest will come forward, rounding, and then exhale, press the hips back and release and let go through the pelvic floor. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, release back. Really following the entire length of your breath. This is a great pose to work into the hips. A good movement to help baby come down. It also helps alleviate some pain that you might feel during contractions. Our uterus tilts forward as you contract. So this allows the gravity to work with the uterus. Opposite direction here. And it really allows you to release and let go as you bring those hips back. Movement can be really helpful in getting the baby to help dilate. And another pose that can be helpful is a deep squat, which we're going to go into now. So you're going to tuck your toes, and this time you walk your hands back. The knees will come out wide. You can go ahead and rock into this. So our heels are pointed in, the knees are out wide. You might not be able to get your heels down here. You may be all the way up here, and that's absolutely okay. This is a very deep squat. If you're 36 weeks or later, avoid this position and you can try a child's pose. If you have those blocks or a pillow handy, grab onto that, and we're going to place it on whichever level you need to. You can stack these blocks up too, and just come to sit down on top of your prop. You can take the hands to the belly, or you can take your palms together and press those knees wide. I want you to grow through the crown of your head as you feel your sit bones weighing down, connecting to your prop. And this is a great pose. It is a deep squat, so it might be uncomfortable or unnatural for you. It is a good pose because it helps put direct pressure on the cervix, which will help dilate the cervix, but sometimes a little bit too much pressure can cause some inflammation, which can delay dilation. So if that happens, you can move to a side laying position or hands and knees for a little while to help alleviate some of that inflammation. But it does relax the pelvic floor and it gently allows it to stretch. So just notice if you're clenching or holding on, and try to release and let go through the hips, through the pelvic floor. Maybe practice that calming breath in for 4 and out for 8. On your next inhale, press those palms into the ground, lift up your hips, remove whatever prop you have, and then we're going to send the hips up to the ceiling. The toes will come parallel. The feet can be about hip distance or a little bit wider. And if you need to, you can take your forearms to your thighs. Otherwise, let your head release down, grab onto your elbows, and maybe sway from side to side, really releasing into the lower back and the hamstrings. Come to center, bend your knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time. That'll be the last thing to come up. And once you get up, you can step to the top of the mat. So now we are working into active labor. Maybe you're almost through that and getting into transition phase. We're going to do a breath called piston breath, and also known as surge up breath. And this breath can be really helpful for getting your body through that transition phase or through those really hard contractions that you're going to experience at the end of the active labor phase. And we're going to pair them with squats because squats build endurance, they prepare our body for birth, and they're just great to pair this breath with. So the surge up breath, which we're going to practice in a minute, is a deep inhale for 8 and a long exhale for 8. And that's what you're going to use through those active labor phases. But we're also going to use this piston breath, and that's going to be a deep inhale for maybe 4 to 6, and then we're going to exhale, and as we exhale, we'll squat down and we'll press the breath through our teeth. So you just gently part your teeth and like you're shushing it out. So come to the top of the mat. We'll do a few of these. The feet are going to be hip distance apart, toes pointed forward. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. We'll take the palms to touch. Take that deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to press that breath out through your teeth. Sit the hips back. Hands will come down to heart center, coming down as far as you can. And then power through your feet. Push yourself up. Straighten your legs. Arms are going to come up overhead. Deep inhale, exhale. Sink down. Inhale, power up. Exhale, come down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 3 more times. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sink down. And down. One more time. Power up. And sink down. Good job. Power back up. Take those palms to touch. Exhale, we're going to sink down, but we're not coming down as far. We're coming down into chair pose. You're just coming back, sinking like you have a natural curve in your lower spine. Hands are together, weights in the heels, toes are light. So now we're going to hold chair pose for a few breaths. Now we're going to focus on that deep inhale, drawn out inhale, long exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Hands can come to belly or palms together at heart center, whichever feels best. One more time. Check in with the throat. Check in with the jaw. Good job. Stand all the way up. We'll take a deep inhale. Reach arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands will come to shins or thighs. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, release down. Inhale, power back up. Use that inhalation to bring your arms all the way up overhead, palms to touch. And exhale, hands down to heart center. We're going to repeat that a couple more times, getting used to marrying our movement with our breath. If we are able to work through it with our breath in labor, things will be a lot more manageable for you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Deep inhale in, palms to touch. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to plant the hands and then we're going to step the left foot back, drop it onto the mat and untuck the toes. You can grab onto the yoga blocks if you have them here and place them on the left side of the mat. The right leg is going to toe heel to the outside of the right side of the mat. So you can let that left knee release back a little further, hips come down towards the ground. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use a bench or a stool or a chair here and just place your hands on that. We're going to begin hip circles here. So inhaling, the hips are going to release down and forward. Exhale, you straighten the legs and release them back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, release back. Lots of hip circles, lots of circle motions, working with the hips to gently allow them to open, gently allow baby to come down into position for you. So now in active labor, our contractions are about 3 to 10 minutes apart, and they last about 40 to 50 seconds at this point, especially in your later stages. Go ahead and switch directions if you haven't already. So now we are actively working with the body to help the baby crown for you. If this is our stage, this is our longest, our most trying stage, and it's right before we're getting to that transition phase. Good job. Release the hips down. And then toe heel the right foot. We're going to take the hands to frame the front foot. You can remove your props off the mat if you have them. Hands will come to your hips. Tuck your toe and lift the back knee up off the mat. Squeezing this left glute, protecting you. Inhale, arms are going to come up overhead. Exhale, sink the hips down, pressing through the front heel. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Deep inhale for 8. Long exhale. Inhale. And exhale. From here, we're going to pivot over our left shoulder. Left foot's going to turn off to the side. You're going to toe heel your feet just a little closer together. Feet are turned out, heels are in. Stand all the way up, really tall, reaching through your hands. Deep inhale, exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, pressing the arms wide, pressing the knees wide, heels slightly tugging in towards each other, but not moving them. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, extend, and exhale, sink. Pressing those knees open like you're sliding down a wall. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, release. Take those palms together at heart center. We're going to pulse for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Stand all the way up. We're going to step to the top of the mat. Hands are going to come to the belly, feet hip distance apart, and hip circles in one direction. We'll inhale, the hips will come forward. Exhale, they release back. Switch directions. So you might notice that there are a few more challenging poses, some poses that get your heart rate going, that get you in a little bit of an uncomfortable position. And that's just you allowing yourself to notice how your body responds in uncomfortable situations. This is your opportunity to tune in when we are holding chair pose, when we're holding goddess pose, to really notice what's going on within your body. And then you can come prepared with tools to help prevent those things that you don't want to happen. Come to center. We're going to do our squats again with our piston breath. Inhale, exhale, shush it out, okay? Inhale, reach the arms up, palms come together. Exhale, sink the hips back, hands down to heart center, sinking all the way as low as you can, and then pressing through your heels, powering back up, arms reach overhead, deep inhale through the nose, exhale, shush it out. Inhale up, exhale down. 3 more times. Reach up and sink down. Last time. Power back up, palms come together, and then we're going to sink into chair. So sit the hips back, palms are down to heart center or to the belly, whichever feels best on your body here. Weights in the heels, making sure you're not sticking your butt back too far. We have a natural curve here. Now, again, each wave brings me closer to baby. So each challenge that you experience, each pain, each contraction, each breath brings you closer to baby. So let's take a few deep inhales in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, release down. Power back up with your inhalation. Reach arms all the way up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, power back up, palms come together. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, release down. Plant those hands. We're going to take the right foot back, drop the knee onto the mat, untuck the toes. Grab your blocks, place them on the right side of the mat, left foot, heel toes to the outer edge of that mat. You can sink the hips down, maybe bring that right knee back a little bit more. We'll begin hip circles on this side. Dropping the hips down as you inhale. Exhale, release the hips back. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, come back. Really using the breath to guide the pace of your movement. So just go as fast as your breath is going or slow as your breath is going. We don't want you to hold your breath in labor. I don't want you to hyperventilate. I want you to feel prepared that you can go in there and have these tools to use during your labor and know that your body knows how to do it already. Opposite direction. You worked really hard today, so we're going to calm down with a few really nice poses. Find stillness. We're going to toe heel the foot to center. And then tuck the back toe. Remove your props if you have them. Hands are going to come to the hips. Lift the back knee off the mat. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Arms come up overhead. Deep inhale in. Exhale, sink down. Squeezing the right glute. One more surge here. Just like labor, there's going to be one more surge. There's going to be that transition phase where you might doubt yourself that you can't go any further. And then you do. You go that step further. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale, release back down. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toe. And then we'll take the left knee to meet the right. If you have a big pillow you can use, you can grab onto that. You don't necessarily need it, but it can be very supportive in this child's pose. So we're going to take the knees wide and the toes to touch. Sit the hips back. If you want, you can place a towel under or a pillow underneath your hips to stack them up a little bit. And if you have yoga blocks, you can also have these frame the pillow that you're going to lay down onto. If you don't have any of this, just come to a normal child's pose that feels good to you. Palms will come to the blocks and then release down. Your head can go to either side, whichever feels best. With each inhalation, I want you to invite your breath into your back and to your sacrum. And then with each exhalation, visualize tension leaving your body. On your next inhale, slowly press yourself up. We're going to place the props off to the side for a second, and then come to a seated position. Left foot is going to go into the mat. We're going to take our right ankle and cross it over the left thigh. Flex your right foot, and you can take your left foot either further away or closer to you to intensify it or lessen the intensity. I like to bring a little bit of rocking into this pose as well. And just take a few deep breaths. And be proud of yourself for showing up on your mat today and doing all the work that you did. No matter what it looked like, it doesn't matter. It matters that you showed up. But we're going to end in a breath that I like to recommend for pushing the baby out. Go ahead and release your right leg down, and we'll switch to the other side. Left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Flex your left foot. And this breath is called J breath or Ujjayi breath, which is known and used in yoga often. And we don't want to hold our breath while pushing the baby out. We want to work with our contractions. We want to work with the natural urges of our body if that's something that's able to happen for us. And we want to use our voice. We want to use groaning, moaning, singing, humming. All those things that are going to naturally relax the throat and the neck are going to help relax the pelvic floor, which will get out of the way and just allow your body to release some tension that can possibly hold you back from birthing baby. Left leg is going to release down. If you have this pillow or if you have a couple pillows, you can stack up so that you can lay comfortably on your back, and you can come to a reclined bound angle. If you don't want to come onto your back, if it's something that you don't have the props for, you can just come to a seated butterfly pose with the feet together and the knees out wide. Otherwise, come to this position, propping your pillows up so that you're stacked up some. The feet together, knees wide, and then I like to take pillows or yoga blocks and place them underneath my knees so that my legs don't fall open too much. So coming onto your side, rolling onto your back. And we'll begin our Ujjayi breath. We're going to inhale for a count of 4 through the nose. And then as we exhale, I want you to press that breath into the back of your throat, down through your lungs, through the uterus, out the pelvic floor, and up like you're making a J. And working with the body to birth the baby, with the pelvis to birth the baby. And we're going to exhale for a count of 8. It's going to be like you're fogging up a mirror or a glass with your breath, but for this, we're going to keep our mouth closed. So when you're ready, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, press that breath to the back of your throat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, expand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, press that breath to the back of your throat, down through the lungs, through the uterus, and out the pelvic floor. A few more times on your own. With each exhale, allowing your muscles to soften a little bit more. Each wave brings me closer to baby. One more Ujjayi breath. In for 4 and out for 8. And feel free to stay here as long as you would like. When you're ready, roll over to one side. Press yourself up. Thank you for practicing and preparing for birth with me today. Namaste.